Here we are at a very sultry Sharjah cricket ground where we've seen two teams in action, the two favourites on this particular day. Australia, they played the afternoon game. England, they played the evening game. Both of them won, so their campaigns are on track. Valkyrie, let's start with Australia. They beat Sri Lanka. They beat them pretty comprehensively. Was it the kind of result you expected?
The result, yes. I do think it wasn't quite the clinical performance we might have expected from the tournament favourites, defending champions, all of that jazz that goes with Australia. They were just that little bit rusty in the field. I think they admitted that themselves. Medan Schutt shone with the ball, 3 wickets. And then in terms of the batting, Beth Mooney, I mean, she really propped up the innings. It was a pretty small run chase, but apart from her sort of really propping it up, there wasn't any other sort of stand-up performances in a pretty low run chase. So I think there'll be things there that they want to get nailed down before the next game.
Yeah, of course they will. And England will probably feel exactly the same way. They'll play another night game here, so it's a nice experience for them from that perspective. I think they looked slightly better than Australia. What do you think?
Yeah, agree. There were several moments where it really looked like that England brand they've been trying to play with now for the last 18 months, of that really attacking style was coming to the fore. Really good opening partnership between Danni Wyatt, who top scored, and Maya Bouchier. There was 47-48 not out, and then Maya Bouchier fell away. Danni Wyatt, went on to get into the 40s. So, and again, she was the one, though, that propped up the innings after that, with several other batters sort of falling away at regular intervals. So again, that's something that they'll probably want to address. And then the bowling was a real positive. They went in with a 4-pronged spin attack, which they had hinted at in the lead up to this tournament and over the course of the summer, and it worked really well. Linsey playing her first World Cup for England in 6 years. She's been a little bit in the wilderness for a while. She is back. She was brought back in for their tour of New Zealand at the start of this year, and she slotted back in beautifully. A couple of wickets, affected a runner. This pitch really suited her. And the thing was, she made the most of that and really went with it. So that was really encouraging to see.
Yeah, so we've seen wins from the teams we expect to see wins from. My personal opinion of the teams that have won, I think there's one who looks really good, and that's South Africa. And I hope they were watching this, because this is a very different pitch to what we're seeing in Dubai. And I just think the conditions here are really, really tough. It's the heat, it's the humidity, it's the slowness of the surface. So I'm looking forward to those clashes later on in the tournament. But now that all the teams have played, I'm going to make my kind of big statement, because we know I always make them. I'm always wrong. But I think the 4 semi-finalists have already revealed themselves to us. I think it's the 4 winners: Australia, England, New Zealand, and South Africa. Of course, I'm probably wrong. The one I'd like to point out to, I think is a near miss perhaps, is Bangladesh, because first of all, I was rooting for them. I was the fan in the press box this evening. I really wanted them to chase down this target. It means so much to them. They had supporters in the crowd. We had a great vibe going. It was supposed to be their home tournament. We know they wanted to make a statement. So as far as other teams are stacking up, I think there's a top 4. I think Bangladesh are there and thereabouts. And I think the others have a lot of work to do. How are you seeing things?
Yeah, very similarly. Like you say, Bangladesh have been really encouraging there. I do think when we're talking about clinical performances and teams playing the way they want, I will give you this. South Africa were the ones from this opening round. They looked really good and they executed really, really well.
And I didn't mention India, who I'm sure will be back, because that's the kind of thing that they do. So perhaps I've got 6 out of the 10 that are still in the running. But we're looking forward to bringing you all the action. It's hotting up. We've seen everybody play. It's a fantastic tournament already, and there'll be plenty more to come here on ESPN Cricinfo.